T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full power. And liftoff.
Vehicle's pitching downrange.
Nominal first stage chamber pressures.
Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Launch Complex 39A, carrying our 53 Starlink satellites into space. Now, moments ago, we did throttle down the engines on the first stage, and this is in preparation for Max Q. Max Q
Power and telemetry are nominal.
Max Q is the maximum dynamic pressure that the vehicle sees on ascent.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
Great callouts. Max Q should be coming up here in about 10 seconds or so.
Max Q.
And there's that call out. We just passed through Max Q. Now with that, we have a few events happening back to back very quickly, one after another. That'll be MECO, or main engine cutoff, stage separation, SES1, or second stage engine startup 1, and then fairing deploy. MECO is where all 9 of those engines that you could see lit up on your screen, that is where those engines will shut down, and that helps slow the vehicle down in preparation for the next event, which will be stage separation. That's where the first and second stage separates from each other. First stage will start to make its way back home here on Earth, while the second stage continues on its journey, taking the Starlink satellites with it, with SES1, or second stage engine startup 1, and that's where we will light up that single Merlin engine on the second stage, and that second stage will then propel the Starlink satellites to its targeted drop-off orbit.
Main engine cutoff.
Stage separation confirmed.
And back startup.
Bearing separation confirmed.
Great views of all 4 of those events. We had MECO, main engine cutoff, which we were able to see with the tracking camera. We had stage separation. On your left-hand screen, you can see a view from the first stage. On your right-hand screen is the view of the
Both
MVAC.
vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
Great callouts, nominal trajectory so far. On your right-hand screen is a view of the MVAC engine on the second stage, and you can see that is lit up. And we also got a great view of fairing deploy. And with those fairing halves having deployed, they are now going to make their way back to Earth. And the second stage will now continue its journey to take its Starlink satellites to its targeted drop-off orbit. And some awesome views here on your screen with the Earth in the background.
Acquisition signal Bermuda.
Now, while second stage proceeds towards its targeted drop-off orbit, the first stage will be making its way back to Earth, and to do so, it will execute 2 burns. Now, the first burn is called the entry burn, and that is where 3 of those 9 M1D engines reignite. That helps slow the vehicle down as it enters back into the Earth's atmosphere. Then the second burn is called the landing burn. It's the final burn of the first stage. It's just the single center E9 engine. And that brings the vehicle speed down rapidly in order to touch down.
Both vehicles continue to follow nominal trajectories.
in order to touch down on our landing zone. And again, today it is a shortfall of gravitas, our drone ship that is nearly the size of a football field. And it's currently located off the coast of South Carolina in the Atlantic Ocean. Now, to aid in recovery, Falcon 9 is equipped with some pretty awesome tools to help it land. It has 4 landing legs stowed at the base of the vehicle that deploy right before landing. It also has 4 hypersonic grid fins, and you can see that on your left-hand screen. You can see 2 of the 4. These grid fins are located near the top of the first stage, and they help to steer the vehicle as it makes its way back to its landing zone. And you can also see some white puffs on the first stage. There goes one. Those are nitrogen bursts. Those are used for attitude control as the vehicle is guiding its way back down to Earth. We are just about 15 seconds or so away from the entry burn beginning on the first stage. Stage 2 is still looking good.
Stage 1 entry burn startup. Stage 1 FTS is saved.
And we heard that call out, and you can visually see on your screen those engines lighting back up on the first stage. This entry burn will last about 20 seconds long. And it's just 3 of those 9.
Stage 1 entry burn shut down.
3 of those 9 engines, and heard that call out that the entry burn has concluded, and you can visually see that the engines have shut down.
Both vehicles continue to follow nominal trajectories.
Now, there will be a second burn for the first stage. That is the landing burn. But as the vehicle is coasting right now, the atmosphere scrubs most of the velocity on the first stage. So we just need that single 1 engine burn right before touchdown. Each one of these M1D engines have about 190,000 pounds of thrust. That's enough to slow the vehicle down rapidly to make that touchdown landing. Now we are coming up.
Stage 1 transonic.
We are coming up on that landing burn in just under 30 seconds. And a great view of first stage here, making its way towards our drone ship, a shortfall of gravitas.
Stage 1 landing burn.
There you can see the landing burn has begun on the first stage. The landing legs will
Terminal
deploy
guidance.
here shortly. Let's see if Falcon 9 can touch down.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
Incredible view there. As you can see on your screen, Falcon 9 has touched down on our drone ship.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
A shortfall of gravitas. Now this marks the 121st overall recovery of a Falcon booster. And what a great view we have there on our screen. And we are coming up on SECA 1 here.
And back cutoff.
Expected loss of signal, Cape. And we have a nominal orbit insertion.